Hello and welcome. Today I'll be doing a election prediction 15 days before election day. But before we get started, please go subscribe. We're currently at 315 subscribers. Let's hit 350 by the end of the month. So go and subscribe and let's get started. So we're going to start off with the safe Trump states: Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, and Alaska, giving Trump 116 electoral votes, going over to Joe Biden. California, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New York, Maine, not Maine at large, Maine's 1st Congressional District. And that is all for Biden in the safe column, giving him 155 electoral votes, going back to Donald Trump for the likely states: South Carolina, Texas, Ohio, and that is all the likely, yes, that is all the likely Trump states. Texas, latest polling is showing Trump on the uptrend, currently at 4.5 points polling. I see him a little over 5 points, maybe 6 to 7 point victory there. I don't really see him falling behind 5 points, and with him on the uptrend, even in Quinnipiac polling, which is Democratic skewed, it shows him up by 4 points, so I think he's at least 2 to 3 points higher than Quinnipiac's poll. I think he'll have a 6 to 7 point win in Texas, narrower than 2016, but still a likely victory. Ohio, it shows a 1 point lead for Trump there, but he won by almost 10 points last time. In the Ohio governor race, Mike DeWine won against Coteray by 4.5 points. Trump is definitely going to win Ohio. It's going to be narrower than 2016, probably by 5.5, 6 points, but I still think he will hold a likely margin. In South Carolina, the state is very Republican. It's just a little closer than the rest of them. Probably a 10 to 15 point victory it'll be between. Going over to Biden for the likely states: Oregon, New Mexico, Colorado, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine at large, and Virginia, bringing Biden's total to 212. All these states are expected to go to Biden. It's going to be, for Oregon, it's going to be probably 12 points, 13 points. New Mexico, 10 points. Colorado, like 8 or 9 point victory. Virginia, probably 8 to 10 point victory for Biden. New Jersey and Connecticut, both are going to be around probably 12 to 14 point victory for Biden. These are all states that are relatively Democratic, but they are slightly closer than like a California or New York or Illinois. They're just slightly closer margins. Going over into the lean Trump states: Iowa, Georgia, Maine 2nd, giving Trump 204 electoral votes. The state of Georgia is looking to be coming a little bit closer. Probably a 2 to 3 point victory is currently where I see it. Before I saw it like a 4.5, 5 points. But with recent polling favoring Biden, I do see the race in Georgia getting tighter. Iowa, I really don't see narrowing. It's probably 4 to 5 points, could go in the likely column, but I do think it's going to be narrower. Maine 2nd is going to be narrower than 2016, but I still think Trump will win it probably by 4.5 points. Going over to Biden's lean states: Nevada, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, bringing Biden's total to 258. Nevada, this state is showing around a 5 point lead for Biden there in polling. I see it probably 3.5, 4 point victory for him. Minnesota, this one's going to be probably a 3 to 4 point victory also for Biden. Wisconsin, this state could narrow up. It didn't have good polling around 2016, so it could just be bad polling again. But so far, it's showing Biden has a 5 to 6 point lead there. I don't think it's a 5 to 6 point win, but it'll probably be, if he wins, probably a 1 to 3 point. Michigan's, I don't really see Trump carrying. It could, but I don't really see it. I think Biden will probably win it by 2 to 3 points. New Hampshire, on even Real Clear Politics, it shows that it's now a lean Biden state. It doesn't show a toss-up anymore. Early on in the election, it seemed that the state could have been close, but with recent polling, I think Biden could even get this possibly in the likely margin. But currently, I do see it probably a 4.5 point lead for Biden there. Going to Trump for tilt states. Florida, the state again went down to Biden leading by 4 to a Biden lead by 1. The trend is on Trump's side. He was leading at a point there, but actually no, he wasn't leading at a point in polling. There was there was a Quinnipiac poll, I think it was like plus 13 or something like that for Biden there, and then there was an ABC News Washington Post, which was a plus 4, but then the first debate happened, and Trump catching COVID caused a huge drop of support for Trump, but now it's back up on the uptrend. In North Carolina, it's another state. It was dropping support for Trump, but in the betting odds, it shows that Trump is now favored once again, as well as in Florida. North Carolina, I don't really see flipping. It's going to be a close state, but I don't really see the state flipping. It's a traditionally favored Republican state. It only went to a Democrat in 2008 to Barack Obama, and I believe in the 70s was the other previous time. It is a swing state, but it is favored with Republicans. Going to Biden for lean tilt states. I see currently Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania, I see, is the state that will decide the election. I could see it going either way, but at the moment, I see it favoring Biden. Biden had he went from a 3 point lead to a 7 point lead after the first debate. Now he's back to a 3.5 point lead. I think in polling, I think if it goes under a 2.5 point lead for Biden, I think it is going to be favored to Trump. Pennsylvania polling is usually +3 to the Democratic candidates, but I currently do see it favoring Biden by probably half a point. Arizona is very interesting. This is another state that is trending towards Trump. Their big issue for them is the Supreme Court, the economy, that is all on Trump's side in current polling. There is COVID-19 is up on the list too, but judges are very important in Arizona, and in the betting odds, it swung, I think, over 5 points today. Trump had 2 rallies in Arizona with a lot of people. I think Trump will have the momentum and slightly carry Arizona. So currently, I do see the election getting close once again. We haven't seen too many national polls out recently. We've seen a few here and there. If you have a 4-way race with the third-party candidates, Biden averages an 8-point lead. But if you have a 2-way, it's about a 9-point lead. So currently, if I were to say what I think the lead is, I'd say maybe 6.5 points, 6-point lead. Hillary Clinton was around the same place at this time. We'll see where the race goes from here and after the next debate coming this Thursday. Thank you for watching. Please go subscribe, like the video, as well as hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching.